Amanda.
And I'm Enid.
And we thank you for indulging us, because it's been quite a few weeks since we have had the opportunity for all three of us to be together and to have time to do a podcast. It's been a very busy May. So thank you for your patience, and we've got a lot to talk about. So
What's that saying? Life happens when you're making plans?
Yes.
For real.
Yes.
So yeah, we got a lot to talk about.
And Mother's Day and all that stuff. Yeah. So what's new and exciting?
What's new and exciting? Okay, I'll start.
Okay.
So it's been kind of a whirlwind couple weeks.
What was the last thing we recorded?
Before we started the Marcel.
It was a live, so
It was.
this will be our first edited since I've got new gadgets to record with,
Since the end of April.
to edit with.
Yeah, so so there was, it's been before Easter. No, after Easter, because Easter was April 1, and then we had Fiesta.
Fiesta.
And I don't think we've recorded.
I might throw a little Fiesta snippets in there.
So.
Because Fiesta, we went to Yellow Rose.
We did. We went to the Yellow Rose Fiber Festival.
That was fun.
Right.
So that was...
it's been since then.
Yes.
Recorded.
Yeah. I think
Before that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about Yellow Rose.
But we're gonna.
They're going to. But.
So we did the Marcel. Did y'all bring your Marcel?
I did. Let's check in on that.
Let's check in on the Marcels.
So let's see yours first.
Yeah, let's see
Let's see it.
because we have a finished
we wanna
object.
See the finished
So we'll get down to the serious topic, because we all have it. A lot of people have it, and a lot of people feel like they're alone. But we did this Marcel shawl, and I finished.
So pretty.
We started April 29th. This is probably the fastest I've ever knit any project, and maybe I say that with every project. But
It's beautiful.
I used some stash yarn I had that I bought. You know what this is? And I thought this was yarn I got at Ply. This is Heritage. Yeah, I don't even think they're available anymore, but Heritage Alpaca or something.
Oh.
Are they available? They're still around?
I don't know.
This was Kid New 2007, y'all.
Wow, that was our first Kid New.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
It was 150 grams
Oh my god.
of this alpaca gray, and I had
So
that in my
soft.
drawer. It's super nice. And then this we got at our first, was our first or the second one?
Second one.
The second
Hill Country
Weavers retreat, the Knitting in the Hills retreat. And this was a skein of the Uncommon Threads and the colors Brassica. So
Wow, 2007.
I just used my stash because I thought those two looked really pretty together.
It does.
They
It's gorgeous.
They look gorgeous.
Gorgeous, and all this nice lacy.
But this,
detail.
I mean, I just went through it in like a couple of weeks because I've got a lot of anxiety, knitting going on, and a lot of it's not really realistic. It's just physical issues, and they manifest into thoughts, and so that helps me focus and not worry about the imaginary monsters under the bed, because life isn't going to end and the world's not going to fall. The sky's not falling. So, I mean, everybody goes to that. But this was perfect for me because it's just knit and purl. No.
Yeah, there was a lot of that.
No fancy schmancy
lot of
stuff. But
your blocking is so.
I loved it.
I would love for us to do a blocking session.
Okay. I love blocking. That's my favorite part.
I'm always
still
afraid.
smell good?
Yes,
Great at
it totally smells delicious.
So
What did you use to soak it?
I washed it with a little bit of this stuff that we got also in the swag bag from one of the retreats, and then I rinsed the heck out of that because it's a soap. It's not really
A
leave-in.
wash. Uh-huh.
And then I had eucalyptus, but the eucalyptus was unscented, so I threw in some geranium oil, lavender.
That's what I smell, geranium.
Lavender and a little rosemary, and I let that soak for a little while, and it's super soft.
This is just gorgeous. The way you blocked it. It just like blossoms.
I did. I have my own design feature because this slip knit.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, we talked about that.
Well, I was at the first section of that lace pattern. I was doing a slip, knit each individual.
Oh, that's right.
So I slip, knit, slip as if to knit, slip as if to knit. Then I knit it, and then I passed those 2 over. Then I went to my hive mind on Thursday night, and I was like, how you doing again? I know everybody does it different. And they're like, you're supposed to slip them both as if to knit together. Then you knit, and then you pass it over. I'm like, oh. So that makes a difference. Because what it does is that center stitch, because it's 3 stitches are involved, that center stitch gets put on the top. So it makes a little rib. And it, like, accentuates that.
Right, it makes it pop.
That chevron piece.
Yeah, you can see the difference between there and what's down here.
Yeah.
I decided to leave it. I didn't feel like
There's no reason to.
I'm like, I'm moving forward because that's what I needed to do.
Well, there's a big difference when someone's looking at it like this and knows what to look for.
Bird's eye view.
Yeah. Then when it's being worn.
But
it's gorgeous. So mine is gray, light gray. Hers is this beautiful charcoal gray, and mine is a light pink. And I left it at home. I left that project, and then I did, and my slot, and they were sitting next to the bag. I didn't actually put them in my big bag. So
it's what?
So it's the
is that pink?
Yeah, it's that pink and the Classic Elite, the light gray.
Look at that.
So she actually has them because I bought them here at the shop.
The perks of filming in a yarn store.
I know. So these are the 2 colors that I used, and my main color is the light gray, and then my contrast will be where her yellow is.
It's gonna be pretty.
I'm excited. So I've reached the point. I've reached like this point. So I feel like it's like it's just a bunch of stitches on a neat, like a cable. Like everything's all kind of bunched in together right now. But I think that's what's exciting about it, is seeing it all blossomed and opened up.
The cast on really got me. I was like, I didn't understand the instructions. And then I was like, well, what else can I do? I don't like that one.
Yeah.
The Jenny Stretchy, I was like, I don't like it. And so I was like, let me do Stephen West's. I don't like that one. I don't like any of them. And then I asked a man, I'm like, what'd you do? Jenny's Stretchy. I'm like, okay. So I did it anyway. But whatever. It's nice. The only thing I didn't like is that you see these little pokies of yellow on the edge.
Yeah, it kind of peeks through.
Kind of bugs me a little.
So what would you do different? Like, had you were 10 stitches in and realized that? Would you have done
what I should have done?
I'm taking notes.
Is
when
knit a row of the gray if you have extra, because I think sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Knit a row and then bind off on the purl side.
And so would it be a purl bind off then?
But you could always knit it, purl it, come back and knit again, and then you'd have just a little extra.
Little extra.
Little more.
Or you can just bind off in your contrasting color.
Yeah.
If you don't want that.
I mean, it's not a big deal. It just bothers me, but no, You see the little pops of yellow up here too. So
yeah, I feel like it's kind of consistent. Maybe we get a picture of like how it looks. I like the pops of yellow, but I think because I work with a lot of self-striping yarn. Like if I do a rib stitch, a lot of time I do my default vanilla latte where it's 6 and 2, 6 knit, 2 purl, and so if you're going from like, for example, a black to an orange, you'll see that orange pop out of the black,
right?
And
it
doesn't bother me.
Oh.
So,
just being weird.
I think it looks great.
That should be weird. But yeah, it was fun to knit. It's a really beautiful shawl. I was only knitting on a 24-inch cable, I think. So it was like bunched up, and then when it started casting off, it just started growing off the needle, and then when I blocked it, I was like, wow.
So I'm knitting mine for my mom. I knew it wasn't going to be a Mother's Day gift. Her birthday's in July. I'm
Yay for July birthday. You got time?
I can do it.
Yeah, I'm a slow knitter. I do not like to do knit-alongs because I'm like, I never can keep up. I mean, I know the one I fell behind on was that color work one. I'm like this far into that color.
Oh, I haven't done any more on that one either. The double knitting. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I haven't.
So I needed a win this week. This is my win.
It's a beautiful win. So we have so the 3 of us are working on it. Marissa is working with us on it, and then Ashley.
Ashley, she's the instigator.
She was the one who inspired us all. Instigate, inspire. Ashley's the one who inspired us. She was actually here in the shop.
She picked
shopping.
pretty colors too. Can I show them off?
Absolutely. So she was in the shop, and Enid's like, "What are you looking for? What's going on here?"
I hope it shows and translates, but that's what she's working with.
It's these gorgeous, like mauvey, maroony.
It's like a rose, like a mauve. Yeah, rose. I don't know.
A burgundy and
a burgundy also.
And a rose.
Really nice, rich burgundy. So it's so pretty.
It is. It's gorgeous.
So those are the Marcel colorways.
So I am right here. I have that much left to do. I've gotten to the lace. Thank goodness. And now I can probably finish because I realize that I'm almost done.
When you see this, you're like, oh.
I'm like, oh, I'm almost done. So here, that's where I am.
And these are your colors.
So these are my colors. This is Tidal Pool and Middle Earth. And this isn't a yak blend, the tumbleweed base, but it has a little bit of yak, and it's really drapey. It's a lot drapier than I thought it was gonna work up.
Wait till you block it.
I know, and I don't know if y'all remember these colors, but we were talking about the double knitting, the double knitted shawl. These are the two colors that I started out with the double knitting, and they did not contrast well with the double knitting. You couldn't see
but there was a lot of
the patterns
in those patterns.
So while those two colors didn't work together for that and a stripy pattern, they contrast really well.
They do.
Yeah. So if you have two yarns that you think will go together, but what they don't quite have the contrast for what you're doing, if you switch up the way that they contrast, they may not be right for double knitting or mosaic knitting or something like that. But in stripes, they may contrast perfectly. So that's one of those little intricacies of getting into color work and learning how your palettes play against each other. So that's where I am. And now I really want to finish it.
I know, after seeing that.
You got it.
But I went down a whole nother rabbit hole. So
you're doing some more color work.
I'm doing some more color work. I'm doing a test knit, y'all.
I've seen your post on it on Instagram.
Can you show it?
I can. It's an open test knit, so we can share all of our pictures. She's already shared her finished one. So I'm doing this for Ashley over at Squish Fiber Arts, and she posted, I saw her finished shawl that she did, and it's gorgeous. It's called the Sedona Sunrise Shawl, and I thought it was done in like color work, just like a Fair Isle color work. Well, it turns out it's mosaic knitting.
Oh, wow.
And I've never done mosaic knitting.
I don't even think I know what that is.
I didn't realize that until
oh, I see it.
Jessica said mosaic knitting.
We got the pattern, right? So, and then I kind of went, oh, I don't know how to do that, so let me learn real quick. But in the mosaic knitting, and you can see the pattern better the further away you are.
Yes. So with one of those relax your eyes.
Relax your eyes. You can see the pattern.
How do you relax your eyes?
Like this look.
But the mosaic, it's a series of knits and purls, depending on whether you're doing it in garter or stockinette, and slip stitches. So the color that you're not working with, you're slipping. And then you come back, so you're charted in a light color and a dark color. And if you're knitting with your dark color, you're slipping all the stitches of your light color. And then you come back and you do the same thing on the reverse side. So you're not knitting every stitch every row. So, and it creates these little, and you can see kind of where the stitches are slipped.
Now I understand what you're saying.
So you got red and a slip. And I'll take a picture of this so that you guys can see it.
That's going to be exciting once you block it.
So it's really, really cool. And I've had this pattern a little over a week, I think.
Oh, wow.
And I'm kind of getting down on it.
That's cool.
And does that purpley yumminess come in later?
This is another one of the colors. And this is my light color. And then this poppy red. So those are the colors.
Do they kind of fade into each other?
Yeah, it's kind of, you use them in the mosaic, and then one of them fades out, and one of them comes and does another color band, and then you do another mosaic.
Sedona what?
Sedona Sunrise Shawl. And her pattern, Our test knit ends at the end of June, so I would imagine probably by the end of June or the beginning of July, the pattern will be live. The mosaic is not very difficult, so if that's something you want to try out, and the finished product is it's gorgeous. Put that on your list of things to check out.
I know you showed it to me, but this is coming out with some Lion brand thing, and that's not right. I'll look it up later.
And then I finished something. I finished the Jody shawl.
Oh, pretty.
And my blocking is atrocious because this should be lace. So this should pull out, speaking of good and bad blocking jobs. My lace should pull out, but I didn't do it. I laid it out and then forgot about it and didn't pin it.
Yeah, but you got squishy yarn, so maybe it.
So I'm
bounces
gonna.
back.
It is squishy yarn.
Pin it and spray it. It's had a good wash. So if I just pin it out and spray it, then it should.
I've seen people use hangers, clothespins.
Oh, I could do that.
And they
Weight
put
it.
Yeah, for weights.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can do that.
I remember the word in English.
Like
but-
Orkia.
I finished that, so that's pretty exciting. I
This
think
is
I'm up to
beautiful.
4
That's
finished
pretty.
objects this year,
Very
Wow.
which is probably more than I had all of last year altogether. It was bad last year. But see, look, I haven't even trimmed my ends.
So I recently confessed to Enid that I don't like weave in and end my ends on my socks that I keep for myself. I just kind of put them on and start wearing them. She's like, what? I'm like, yeah, sometimes I kind of just.
That would drive me nuts.
Do you ever get the little toe strings like in between your
Yes,
stuff? I think that would
love
drive
it.
me insane.
No, I love it.
She's like, hey, yeah, string between my toes.
I made these socks. These are socks I made. My toes are wiggling right now under the table. I'm loving it because I knit all of those shorty socks last summertime.
Oh, yeah.
I did like 4 pair. I've been wearing them with my sneakers, and it's just so awesome. So Sally, Wool Diaries, we saw her during the Hill Country Weavers retreat back in March, and she washes her socks, and yes, they're super wash, but she washes them in the washing machine. She just throws them in with her regular clothes. I was like, what?
I do too.
You do too?
Yeah.
I'm like so scared. I'm like, oh
What
no,
do you do?
I
Not
put him
wash
like I'll
Or you
put him
just
in a
soak
mesh bag,
Oh.
and I'll put him in like the delicate with like some other delicate things, but
I hand wash all mine.
I'll put them in a bowl and soak them, and then kind of do that.
I don't wear that many because unless it's like the middle of winter. But like right now, like no socks because
What's hot?
it's too hot.
But Elisa's got us hands down,
She's got a sock collection.
a sock collection.
It was that Star Wars inspired those like companion socks that got me, because it was just so much fun. You get to mix and match them.
But I think as long as you don't dry your socks in the dryer,
No, I hang mine.
wash them in the washing machine on a delicate or whatever. As long as you don't, you're gonna run into issues with shrinkage and pilling and stuff like that. If you dry
Okay,
them in
so
dryer.
the mustache yarns, the pink ones that I made, they were like super tall. I throw those in the washing machine
No.
and the dryer.
No problem.
You put them in the dryer?
They hold up.
They do. I mean, they're like the big tall socks.
They're so pretty.
Wow.
Maybe I'm probably gonna get lashed. Tongue
Nah.
lashed.
No, you're not getting tongue lash. I just find it. I just feel like
From our viewers, they'll be like, "How dare you?" But I mean, it works.
they're socks. You wear them. I
Not
mean,
kidding me.
as
They're
I
meant to
said
be
one
worn.
time, yeah, you stuff them in your shoe. So
Socks don't last.
They
forever.
look okay. I mean, they look okay. I don't see any pilling. I mean, she's got a good base.
yeah, and I guess I just made all these rules up in my mind, like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, and so it was kind of like, wow, it never occurred to me, should I throw this in the washer? So
But
With, like,
being on a side of it, and things that you see when you buy yarn, if you're gonna knit socks wear hard. Most of the time, even if you wear them with sandals, you're still rubbing the bottom of those on your shoes all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I would not knit socks with anything less than a very tightly spun 3-ply. No 2-plies.
no.
I don't care if it has nylon in it or whatever. 2-plies are not spun very tightly. I would not knit socks out of a 2-ply.
Or a single. I've heard people ask me, like,
to
Can
knit
I
socks out
knit
of a
my
single.
socks out of this? I'm like, no,
No,
you can.
you're gonna have a hole probably. the first
But
time
that's
you
for
wear it.
laying on your back kind of socks, not like walking
Right.
around in socks.
Yeah,
You get into a tightly spun 3-ply. With 3 plies, I would certainly recommend that they have nylon in them. But once you get into 4 plies or 8 plies or whatever, I don't even think you need nylon. You've got enough plies and they're tightly spun enough that personally, when I knit things, I don't see a difference between those that have nylon and those that don't. I think that they wear the same.
Mm.
But yeah, I see 2-ply sock yarn out there.
It just won't last long.
And it's not going to hold up.
Yeah.
And that's, from my own experience, from knitting it and wearing it and dyeing it. But so that's my PSA.
No, I think it's important. I think we kind of like put these rules in our head. Well, for me, I do put these rules in my head and do these things and think, oh, I can't possibly do that. But I think when we bring these out, it's like, oh, you give yourself permission to do it. It's cool. It's cool. So, I never claimed to be a monogamous knitter, but recently I've been like all about this starting point. And a lot of it is because I come into the shop and I see this. And then I'll talk with Ashley and I'll see hers. And then I look at Amanda's and I'm like, I need to finish mine. So I've been plugging away at it. I've been using, I bought a kit when the starting point to knit along came out last year in May or April. And it was from Farmer's Daughter Fibers. And they're gorgeous colors. Very cool, like muted colors and stuff. And it's a BFL nylon sock yarn. So it has a really kind of cool texture. It's not like super silky or soft. And I kind of like that it's a little...
It's springy.
It is springy.
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 It's more than a spring. It's a spring.
It's a spring. So this was the second one. I've just been like going. On my first one, I ended right here. And then I was like, oh my God. So this is where I was on the first one. So with the second, I've done this gray, this turquoise, this gray, and then the speckle. So next after this is the twisted rib. So I've been trying to decide if I want to do the twisted rib and then take a break and then do the other ones and then do the twisted rib. Because if I do the other way where I do like catch up to where I am, I'll be doing twisted rib twice. And I don't know if I can handle that. Mm-mm. So originally I was going to stop after the speckle and then go to this one, but I think I'm going to just power through and do the twisted rib and reward myself
with some garter.
With some just beautiful garter.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I left my sock and I left my Marcel shawl at home. It's sitting right next to this big bag that I had, and I'm kind of bummed because I've been working on the sock, and this is the first time I've kind of modified a sock.
Take a picture of it.
I will. I'll send it to you. It's for my friend, and he's got really skinny ankles. So like I had to do like from the 64 regular stitch, I went down 8 stitches. So so I went to 56 for the rib and the cuff, and so and then right before I get to the heel, I start adding stitches, which isn't that many because it's 8 and it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So and then you have that row between. So I was kind of
tailored fit socks.
Tailored fit. Well, that's the whole point of hand knits, right?
Awesome. Yep.
So this is the first time I've really done that, and I'm really proud of myself. And it's Nomadic Yarns. It is the colorway is called Interstellar. It's very, very bright. There's oranges and blues and purples and hot pinks and black.
Very bright.
So
but he's a bright kind of guy.
Yeah, he chose the color, so that made it kind of fun. And so I'm using that as my entry for it's called the Socks for Dobby Knit Along that Nomadic Yarns has been doing this summer. So we've been reading each of the books from Harry Potter, so we're on book 3, and I don't think I'm going to finish this sock by the end of the month because we're supposed to kind of like finish it by the end of the month, and you get put in for a prize. So actually for book 2, I'm the one who won the prize. So I did Molly Weasley socks for book 2.
Oh, you got the prize for that one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well,
and I got
somebody else win.
Oh yeah, totally. For sure. I don't know what she would do. But still, I'm kind of disappointed in myself that I haven't finished the sock. Here it is. So it's one of her bags, and it's Harry Potter. I'll do a picture of this. It also came with a really cute clay progress keeper.
Cute.
That's the sorting hat. And an Instagram friend, Sylvia, is the one who made it. Smizel Knits. So it's really pretty. It's one of like the boxy type rectangular things.
Sock in there.
No, nothing's in there.
It's a very
I'd actually already packed it.
Jack and Jill looking print. Does that make sense to you guys? Like old school Jack and Jill looking
Yes.
looking print. I don't know if you guys can see that, but like the color palette
Tiny books print. Tiny books.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It is. So so thank you, Ashley. I had a lot of fun with this knit along and listening. I've read the books before and seen the movies, but this is my first time listening to them through audiobooks, and that's also a lot of fun.
Oh, you're doing audiobooks.
So I'm doing audiobooks for it. So
Are you Audible?
yes, do Audible.
I've got points I need to use up.
Oh, you better use them, girl,
Did you lose them?
because you lose them after a few months.
Oh, I need to use them.
So this
I
is
don't
my
have
Mary
any-
Poppins
I don't know
bag.
what
It
to
really isn't Mary Poppins because it's huge.
It's endless.
It is.
Pretty. Where'd you get it?
TJ Maxx.
Cool.
Like $7.99. Here, I'll let you guys see it.
Texas, our Texas. I'll feel the mighty surge. Sorry.
So it's really cool. And got cool handles. So
Ropey
handles.
Ropey handles.
Well, it is Texas.
yes.
We like rope.
Get a rope.
Like that.
Did
what
you remember
was that?
the
Was
Pace
a taco
Picante?
commercial?
It was Pace
Yeah.
Picante.
Get a rope.
This stuff says it's made in New York City.
New York
City.
Get a
rope. I used to love that commercial. So this is seawall fibers. As we talk about.
Oh my god.
I've been so this friend of mine, Betty, she lives up in Austin. We're both kind of seawall fiber addicts. And Betty's Largy and Miss Betty. And
Shout out.
so Seawall Fibers has a really, really cool active Ravelry group, and if you like knitting socks, they do a whole year-long sock knitting, and they're really, really cool because each month they find a new sock pattern to use. So you're always constantly learning like different things, and you get little discounts from their yarns and stuff like that. So if you're interested in sock knitting and doing something cool, Seawall Fibers is just the best. And they're yes. So this is the new. This is their newest base.
It has got
So
you
they're
mead.
based out of Nova Scotia. So they're Canadian, and I have several of their socks. I know for sure I've made one, but I think I just have more yarn that I just swished. But this is a new base they have. That's cashmere. Can you read it out?
80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, and 10% nylon.
So you could use it as a sock.
Cashmere.
But they were selling these as a little set. So I kind of want to do a shawl, and I just love the grays and the blues.
I love
And
that.
so they're inspired by like geological formations
Another
and stuff.
Marcel.
Oh, and Marcel would be good.
I don't know.
So this one's called Ocean Speckled Granite.
This I love. It's got
This one is
that blue, the gray, and then if you look close, there's like a little rust with a little brown
Yes.
speckle.
It's got a little purple in it too. It's
Love it.
Or that gray has a purple undertone.
There's a purple undertone. I see
Right,
it.
right there. I love that it's like just a little. You know, it's on purpose, but it's just right. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they're gorgeous. So I actually, when I got this yarn, and I was like, oh my god, I love this. I went through my Ravelry patterns, my library, and said, okay, before going crazy, you need to see what's in your library, things that you've bought because you loved them and haven't made. So I found the Vitis pattern, Vitis by Lisa Mooch, isn't she Strick Mitch?
Strict Mitch.
So I have that. It's been in my library, so that's going to hopefully be a cast on this year that I can do. So I have it on my little note here. So,
what's the name of the pattern?
VITIS. Vitis? I don't know. Vitis or Vitis?
I say Vitis.
Or Vitis. So Seawall also sends you little personalized notes, and then there's a stitch marker, which I think is in the bag. So, yay!
Awesome.
Fun yarn mail.
I think these labels are out of linen paper too. Like, that's an incredible detail.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I'll find something random, but that's really, and she tells the whole story on her label about like where she came up with her name and kind of where she is, and that's really cool. Oh, pretty. They match.
Oh, that's
Cute little stitch markers. I just love these little extra details. You indie dyers are just a wonderful lot. Thank you. It's quite fabulous.
It's different when you buy from a person or small company that's run by a person that you can put a name to, rather than, you know, a big
Like
company.
barn owls.
It's a different experience. You know?
Barn owls in the barnyard, just chilling.
That's okay.
Barn owls roosting right now.
Roosting.
But I'm gonna work on some new base this summer.
Yay.
So that will be available for Yarn Crawl because Yarn Crawl's coming.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
So
I think I'm gonna do a DK.
You should.
Ooh.
Do a DK.
You should. I love DK.
And then I'm gonna design. I need a design node pattern. I gotta
Ooh, do a DK pattern. Everything I feel like is in fingering.
Yes.
During Yarn
We've
Crawl.
done a lot of fingering. And yeah, you're right.
DK.
So yesterday, can I tell you guys what I did yesterday?
Yes.
So with my starting point shawl, I met up with Heidi and Jeanette up in New Braunfels. Heidi is Undead Heidi on Instagram, and Jeanette is Bookish Stitcher.
Shout
and
out.
yeah, so they're podcasters and yarn dyers and all around amazing women.
They are.
And we went to Lucky You. They have just Lucky You Yarn Shop in New Braunfels just moved from one location to another, and they're now in a house, and it's got such a great vibe. Each room has its own personality, and it's just very welcoming, and it was really nice. The Saturday was when they had the big grand opening extravaganza, and they said they were really, really busy, and but we went by yesterday just because that's what our schedule worked for our schedules. And so we kind of compared notes on where we were on the starting point. I started mine last year. Jeanette and Heidi just started theirs like
Not too long
earlier,
ago.
like I think like in March sometime. So so it was kind of fun to see colors and everything. My colors and Jeanette's colors are very similar. Hers are just brighter. We pulled our stuff out and we're like, these are like the same colors. It was so funny. And Heidi's are really gorgeous, like just like deep autumn colors, so it's really nice.
Very cool.
So it was really good to hang out with them. As Jeanette said, she goes, in real life, this feels really good. Like, you know, not just like seeing each other through social media. So
Yeah.
yeah.
A lot of times we don't get to see each other
Mm-hmm.
face to face enough.
Except at events or whatever.
Which, those of you that came out to see me at my trunk show on Saturday, thank you guys so much. Those of you that came and said hi and sat with me and knit with me, and I got to meet just some amazing people.
Oh, that's awesome.
The winner of our last contest, Karen,
Uh-huh.
came by and hung out for a while, so I got to hang out with Karen.
She's so much fun.
She's so fun.
She's a teacher.
I know, and we had a lot of time. Mary and Nancy and everybody that came by. Thank you guys so much. Saturday was a lot of fun.
That's fantastic.
So let's talk about our topic. We do have a topic.
We do.
For this week, and then after that, maybe we'll talk about.
I'm like, what's up?
I have some things going on I'd like to tell y'all about, but I want to make sure we get to our topic first.
So we had talked about, we were trying to figure out what's something to talk about. And weaving in ends. So like I said, I worked on this one, and I think just one evening of just anxiety, and like I couldn't really do anything. I was like, you know what? I have the capacity to weave in ends. Now what I didn't do, except for on the last few, was leave an extra little bit. Here I did what I did, and then I trimmed
What?
It's fine.
So I didn't leave extra.
What do you mean?
Like I didn't leave extra. Like once I wove, that was it.
So I can show you what I do.
So I was like, I think it was you, Enid. I heard you saying, "Oh no, I've left my stuff so when I block it, it can grow." And I was like, "Oh no."
That may be me.
Oh, is it you?
I do. I have not trimmed the ends of this one quite yet.
Let me.
So you can see when I weave in the ends, I trim them down. Where are my ends? But I don't trim them close until after I've blocked it, washed it and blocked it and pinned it out. So that now I know I can trim like right there. And that's pretty much where it will stay. It kind of groups right there.
So with that, so when I started this one, I'm afraid to weave in. So I was joking with Heidi and Jeanette that I'm just gonna do a la Stephen West and make braids at the end of these,
braid down the side.
and just do a nice little braid, some tassels and stuff.
Macrame.
So I will probably, because it's starting to like really kind of like annoy me, it's just kind of weave them in, but leave them untrimmed because I would.
You leave a lot.
I did leave a lot because I was nervous. This is what happens. I get nervous. So I just want to talk about weaving in ends because we talk about, there's all these different aspects of a project.
It's too traumatizing. I blocked that out.
You're like, that's done.
It's done. I'm over it.
I'm over it. I'm moving on. But there's, it's not just the knitting or the purling or the lace work. There's, the soaking, the blocking, the weaving in ends, the Elisa,
the finishing work.
The finishing work, and I think that's also something that's important.
It's important. I mean, you spend so much time knitting it, and then you could make it fugly by not taking the time to hide those stitches.
Right.
And I think in our society, that's also kind of a lost art because it's like, oh, we'll just tuck it in. We'll just do whatever. Like what I do for my socks, right? Like my mom would probably be horrified if she knew that about me.
I like anything that has an I-cord trim on the side.
Oh, nice.
I just shove them down the middle of the I-cord.
I-cord trims are gorgeous, and they have and they're such a neat end.
Mm-hmm.
So you weave in as you go. Because I was taught at one point when I was first learning to knit how to weave in as I get my next color, and I was doing that for a long time, and that's kind of fun because you weave as you go.
You can do that. My problem doing that is that I never tuck them back there well enough, so then they show on the front side. So I usually do it at the end. When I did this one, I knew there was going to be a ton of ends, so I would try to do 2 sections and then go back. And then wherever I change color, I leave those ends right where I'm at and do all the ones before that. So that way you make sure that you're weaving in with your tension. If you're trying to weave in and that row is still on your needle, you're not going to weave in with the correct tension.
Oh, yeah. No, you want to get a little bit further out.
Right. You want to make sure you have some rows distance between your needle and what you're weaving in.
How do you do your...
I think I was doing it like that because I was... it's also a good thing to do when you're socializing because sometimes you've got knit through the back loop ribbing or a little lace and you got to count. So that I take the time if I'm out with a group, I'll just I'll weave some ends while I'm just talking because that's mindless. You don't got to count or anything. So
right.
I would do it then.
That's
I like to do it during movies too.
During movies, that's a good time to do them. Yeah, so Amanda was asking, what's our topic? I'm like, how about
weaving in ends?
Weaving in ends. I think that's,
I've been... French braid down the side.
Or a nice French braid. Well, I've also kind of been inspired. I don't sew, but I have enjoyed so much the Me Made May hashtag this month.
So bad about Me Made May.
And I don't sew, so I'm not feeling any pressure of anything, but it's just been so inspiring to see lots of people's work and their sewing and their products and stuff, and I always see that. I grew up, my mom made our clothes, so she was very particular about things. I want to sew something.
I want to make a couple of skirts or something.
There's been some really cool, so if you kind of just check out the hashtag, there's some really cool pieces. People have cite their patterns and stuff too, so that might be a good place to start looking. And I just love all of the, just all of our shapes as women and women of all different ages and stuff too, and tailoring and custom designing stuff. Maybe it doesn't fit totally, but you fix it so it does.
I have this one shirt pattern that I have that I think I've made twice, and it's way back on my Instagram feed. It's a black and gray chevron. Is what I sewed my first one out of, and it's just so flattering. I brought it out to wear the other day to work, and I forgot how much I loved the pattern, because it just, you get older and things shift, and you get into bigger sizes. Things that are cut for a size 4, don't necessarily look good at a 12 to 14. We're built differently. So that how you can tweak the seams and the bust and the darts and the neckline, and make your sleeves a little bit bigger around. So those little things to really make it flattering. And no matter what your size, if you have a good cut on you that's flattering, you look good.
And that's exactly what I've noticed with the lot in that hashtag that I've noticed. Just women of all sizes, and just everything just tailored just right, and just because I'm big, sometimes like the sleeves will be like way longer, like further down.
They're too short, or they're too tight.
Or they're too tight. So
like this part is too long.
This part's too long because I want it to fit, and so it's kind of inspiring. I don't know if I'll ever sew, but
we could work on something together.
I might get flashbacks of when my mom was teaching me to sew.
I'll be gentle.
Please be nice.
I have a lot of sewing machines. We're gonna have a sewing machine day. Take a test run for it. It's in a box in my closet.
How many sewing machines do you have?
I gave away my
5
serger because I was like, I don't need it.
I have 5.
But now I'm like, I kind of would like it, but it's okay. I'll get another one.
4 sewing machines and a serger.
We're having a party at Amanda's house. I also even have problems just like pinning on the pattern. Like everything gets all.
It would be cool to do it in like, cutting day.
Do some fun stuff.
Cut all the fabric.
So my goal
Sewing together day.
For our next podcast is to have all these put away somewhere.
Jellyfish!
I know, it does look like a jellyfish. Just kind of let it out. So.
And you guys took a trip. We
talked
about Yellow Rose.
I
was not there. But I don't want to talk about that. But I want to hear about you guys.
Where were you? Dallas.
She had Fiesta, Texas. That's what I was like. She's with her family.
I was with my family and my daughter, and we had a very lovely time. But it was not what I wanted to do that day.
It's not the plan, man.
It was not the plan. But I want to hear about you guys' good day.
Well, we have to start with earlier in the morning because it was Elias, Enid's eldest son's.
My oldest son.
This is his last marching band at the parade.
He's not. No.
So he graduates in a few weeks.
It's not possible. We're not this old.
Marching band, last performance. Wow, a lot has happened.
Maybe
so like
busy.
Senior mom, that's what I've done this month. Prom.
He was so handsome.
So handsome.
He had such a sweet date, so that was really nice. I'm glad he had a good experience. Unlike my senior prom. My senior prom was like bittersweet. Had a good time with my friends, but the boy issues were just too much drama. But he had a good time. He had a really good time. So I'm really happy for him. And then
So we left the parade. Yes. So we went to the parade. So it's the Battle of Flowers parade here in San Antonio. We have
Fiesta week.
Fiesta that happens. I think we talked a little bit about it in the last podcast. And so from downtown, we also had seats kind of close to the beginning of the parade route, so we weren't waiting too long.
Yeah, they were nice seats. I'll put some pictures in from the parade, or a little video, maybe little snippets. I won't.
Nothing too crazy.
Too crazy. But then after that, we came here and freshened up, relaxed a little bit, changed clothes, and headed down to Seguin for the Yellow Rose.
Yeah, so Yellow Rose Fiber Festival was on that April 25th or 19th or something like that. And so it's a really nice little it's a nice little fiber festival. It's in Seguin, Texas, which is about 30 miles from San Antonio east, so it's going towards Houston. And so it's really kind of cool. I feel like, having been in this like knitting community here for a few years, it's also a time just to kind of see friends in real life and everything. Just check out the indie dyers and stuff. They do classes as well, which I've never done. I've always just gone to socialize. And go.
You should take a class sometime.
I should. I really should. So it was a good time. So we saw a lot of old friends and chatted and walked around. And then we made some new friends. And we can kind of share that with you guys. What do you think?
Mm-hmm. We got a little surprise for you.
We got a little surprise. So take it away, surprise.
Hi, this is Elisa with Rivercity Knits Podcast, and I'm here at the Yellow Rose Fiber Festival. And we've been having fun talking with friends, and we've made some new friends today. This is Becky, and this is Dawn, and if you want to just kind of give a shout out to your businesses.
Crafting by Chaos from Georgetown, Texas.
And I'm Four Hands Fiber, and I'm from Georgetown as well.
So we're having such a great time. We've been talking with everybody here, and we've just been in love with their little space here, all of the great yarn that's been dyed, also some really beautiful designs. Dawn does a lot of the project designs as well. We did a little shopping, and we did a little bit of shopping, and having fun and laughing.
Lots of fun.
It's been a really good time. But they have been so amazing and wonderful, and they have gifted this fantastic little package of really awesome stuff. It's not a little package, it's pretty intense, to do as a giveaway. So we're going to probably do this during the summertime. It includes this Joseph shawl designed here by Dawn, and it called for size 6 needles. Is that what you said?
4.
Size 4 needles. So she's also thrown in the needles, you guys. Isn't that awesome? And the yarn to go with it, which is what Becky has dyed.
And the magic ball that I put together so you don't have to do your own knots.
So, and then this beautiful project bag as well, which just screams summertime. So we're so excited. Thank you guys very much. Is there anything you want to share maybe about some of what your influences and what you're inspired by?
We're inspired by everything fiber and all the beautiful colors that we come across with all the friends that we've made here.
Absolutely. And the cities are the names, it's always hard to name something. So we go back and okay, well, we were in Seguin, so don't be surprised if you find something named after Guadalupe or Seguin, or, because we try to incorporate it through our stuff.
So it's been a fantastic time. We've had a really great afternoon here at Yellow Rose Fiber Festival, and we look forward to our full rest of our podcast. And Amanda, who's not with us. Enid's behind camera. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Wasn't that awesome?
We had a lot of fun. It was so great meeting Dawn and Becky as well. It was just really, really cool. So we hope you liked the short video. Here's the prize.
In vivo.
So just like we showed you guys, we've got all these great colors. There's the pattern, there's the needles. And what you need to do is, if you're not already a subscriber to Rivercity Knits Podcast on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. And in the comments below, just talk about what your summer knitting goals are. So it's Memorial Day weekend, so great time where everybody's kind of planning with their summer, what they're doing and everything. Mm-hmm. So share with us your goals. Maybe put the patterns or any of the yarns, kind of just list them. I think that's a fun way of learning about new patterns and new designers, and also new yarns. So just consider yourself an enabler, and comments below, and you'll be getting this. We're gonna do this through the month of June.
Through the month of June.
Yes. So we look forward to hearing what your plans are this summer.
Enable us. We need to be enabled.
We need to be enabled, because I bought from Crafting My Chaos these 2 skeins of beautiful yarn.
So pretty.
They are. They're this one's a brown tonal, and then this variegated is what is it called?
Did we ever figure out the pattern?
Steampunk Speckle.
I like it.
Dang it.
Becky had in her booth had a really cool pattern, and we don't know what it was called. We forgot. We were just so excited talking with them and getting to know them and stuff. I didn't write the note down.
What's funny is that I zoned in on those, and I was like, look, Elisa, these would be great together. And then I turned around and was squirrel, and then was looking at something else, and Becky, she's like, look, I have this shawl. It's made out of these, and I'm like, look, you see? So she bought them.
So and then she got those. They're beautiful.
So pretty.
I was in love with this one, and Becky grabs the solid. She goes, but look, and I'm like, oh, why do you do that? So I got these.
It is. It's magical.
But I may, thanks to Amanda, do something.
Yes.
Those.
Yes.
Bump.
I love it.
So I need a pattern for this. So hopefully I'll get enabled by one of you guys to come up with something.
Or if you happen to know the name of that pattern.
Yeah.
Becky, help us.
Please, we can't remember.
We can't remember.
And if you're at a show and they have a tag that tells you what the pattern is, take a picture. You always got your phone.
Duh.
Take a picture.
I got these too from the little booth. These are super
Oh, those
cute.
are cute.
I had seen them before, and I was like, oh, I'd like to have them in my shop. But she had these. They're little scissors.
And they're cute
And they
little
look like a
design.
little pen. Aren't these cool? And you just, boop.
Fooling TSA agents since 2018.
So TSA, and if for any of you guys who are doing summer traveling, TSA is now making you take out any food that you have in your carry-on and like declare your food, which if you're visiting San Antonio and you're going back to your original destination, like my sister was last weekend because we had a family wedding. She had tortillas, chicharrones, marranitos. She had sweetbreads. She had coffee. Tortillas. There was something else. She had a fifth thing, and she had them in her backpack. And so, I told her when I was coming back from Baltimore, I was like, they made us like separate the food. So she kind of kept it all in one place. And sure enough, when she got to like with TSA and stuff, they're like, can you take any food and snack and treat items out of your bag and separate them from like the rest of your stuff?
Oh my God.
So
Could
apparently,
you imagine traveling with a toddler?
Yes, I know.
Like, let me just dump the whole snack bag out on the...
Yeah, essentially. So they say it's because I read a whole article about it. The food material may block the X-ray machines from seeing other things. So if you separate it, they can look at your X-rays. So just be prepared.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, I guess. So, but like leaving San Antonio, I think TSA San Antonio needs to have an Instagram of like all the crazy foods people take. Like my sister's
Big Red.
Yeah, so well you can't take liquids,
Oh,
but
that's
like
right. But a can? You can't take a can?
no, you
Closed
can't take
can?
more than
the little tiny can.
no.
It's less than.
It has to be like 4 ounces or 2 ounces,
ounces or
or
less.
something like that. Yeah,
The cans are tiny.
those are like 8 ounces.
Are they? I thought they were less.
So
I love those tiny cans.
Okay, I don't want to get it. No, never mind.
So
You don't like the tiny cans?
if you're flying,
About
Just
the
think
food
about the
thing.
food.
Oh, the food
About
thing.
the food thing.
and they don't take it away from you, they just get sternly reprimanded, and you have to be put to the side, and they have to like go through they have to like hand
Sternly reprimand?
Yeah, like my mom's like, because my mom didn't take out some chocolates and granola that she had, and the guy was really rude to her. It was bad, but because he said, I said to get all the food out. She goes, but these are snacks. He goes, you still put it in your mouth.
Oh,
And
dang. Okay, sir.
So my mom was
Sure.
livid. My mom was livid. This was out of Baltimore, so.
Oh my God.
So yeah, separate your foods.
Give somebody a little bit of authority.
Well, and there's no sign. This is the thing. There's like no signage outside. At least there wasn't like earlier this month, and then last week when my sister left, there wasn't any signage. So you're just thinking, as a mom.
No,
With
I'm
kids.
thinking as somebody that does X-ray stuff professionally
Mhm.
for a living,
Right.
how faulty this logic is.
Oh,
If it
let's
can
hear
take a picture through your body to your bones and know that they're not at the same thing, I'm pretty sure your granola bar is okay.
So there must be
But-
another reason. There must be another. There must be something
maybe the
else.
package, like some of the packaging's got aluminum in it or whatever, and that might block it. If it's in plastic, it shouldn't block it. You should be able to go through it.
It should be fine.
There's got to be some other dumb reason. They just don't know it.
Never mind.
You could say it.
You can say it.
I would never accuse of some of the people that make regulations based on like some BuzzFeed article that they read that said, whatever. That's not exactly truth. Fake news. But hashtag fake news.
So yeah, if you're leaving San Antonio and taking all the good foods that come with San Antonio, just be prepared.
Put them in an HEB grocery bag.
Yeah, just have it there, and it's all separate. There you go. There you go, sir. How did we start talking about food?
I don't know, but that's probably the funniest thing I've heard today.
Lauda, my sister,
Oh my
Traveling.
gosh. Traveling.
traveling,
Traveling.
summer knitting.
Whatever.
Summer knitting projects.
I just had a senior moment. How do we get on this tangent?
We don't know.
Squirrel.
Oh,
There's a lot of rabbit holes.
I'm glad I'm not alone.
So many rabbit holes. So what else do you have? Oh! So I want to talk about my news. So I have 2 big things coming up pretty rapidly. First, I am closing down the Etsy shop. I'm not getting out of dying, but I'm transitioning from Etsy over to my own .com, I guess you would call it. So theoretically, June 1st, the Etsy shop will be closed. Friday. I know, Friday.
Wow.
I've been talking about doing this for 2 years. For 2 years now. And I've never been able to bring myself to pull the trigger because Etsy's so easy. You know, Etsy just says, now do this, now do this, now do this. Now. And it just literally holds your hand. But the way Etsy has changed, you know, so much over the last couple of years that there's no financial reason for me to be on Etsy over some of the other e-commerce sites. So I'm moving over to Shopify. And I'm working on that and the website. I had it up for a couple of days and then I password protected it to do some testing. So I'm testing my shopping cart process tonight with my super good friends in Knitter, Leslie. Thank you so much, Leslie. I'm so excited. And we're going to see if that works and work out any kinks if we need to. And then hopefully by Friday, everything will be turned on and live and up for your viewing pleasure. It's pretty. Yay. It's nice. There's on one of the tabs, you'll be able to watch the latest episode of the podcast straight from the website. It links back and plays and will take you to the YouTube site. You can see my events and, you know, everything like that. So I'm really excited about that.
That sounds fantastic. Like all in one.
I'm super nervous about it if everything's going to work right, and there's a lot of anxiety there. We were talking about anxiety. I'm very anxious over this, so I'm ready to get it done and move on with life. The second thing is that in July, I'm getting ready to turn 40. And my birthday and Enid's birthday is like a week apart.
Yes.
So I'm going to have a trunk show here at the Yarn Barn on July 21st. And I think our really good friend Samantha,
yes.
who owns it, right?
Mm-hmm.
She owns a Paint a Plate here in San Antonio, is going to bring in some yarn bowls. So we're going to have some beautiful painted yarn bowls, ceramic yarn bowls.
Some here,
and some yarn and some yummies, and I'm thinking about getting a cake, and maybe we'll have some prizes. And
you'll be 40, I'll be 45.
I know. So this also coincides. I'm going to launch a brand new colorway line at this trunk show.
Oh wow!
Called This Is 40.
This is 40.
Which will be a very tongue-in-cheek line, pulling on my own experiences with aging and motherhood and kind of all that. Just a way to put, you know, just...
That's a great way to
very tongue-in-cheek, but to celebrate kind of my own, you know, life with that. And I have some pretty funny things planned for that. But
that's awesome.
So that's going to be coming up in July.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited. I'm really excited about both of these things.
I'm really excited too.
And then, of course, Yarn Crawl. We mentioned Yarn Crawl coming up in October.
Yarn Crawl's coming up.
I'll be back second weekend of Yarn Crawl, which is the 13th, 14th, somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm.
Second weekend of Yarn Crawl, I will be back here at the Yarn Barn. And Kid New. We haven't talked about Kid New. We haven't met since I think they made their big announcement.
They've made a big announcement.
Kid New is moving to Kerrville this year.
Oh.
Yes.
They are.
Are you excited about that?
I'm kind of excited about that. I drug my heels with East Texas Fiber Festival, which is held in... Gosh, the name just escaped me.
I have it.
Are they new? How long have they been doing?
This would be their 3rd or 4th year, I think.
Really?
Maybe 5th. I'm not sure. It's in Lindale.
You got
Lindale. which is up by where my mom lives, pretty close to where my mom lives, is the same weekend as Kidnew this year. And I kind of drug my heels, and basically all of my dyer friends are going to East Texas Fiber Festival. We'll be vending there, but I will be at Kidnew. I'm going to stick, with my South Texas show, and go to Kerrville with Kidnew this year.
Do you feel like, because last Kidnew, they were going around doing a survey.
Right.
You were feeling a certain kind of way.
I was. I'm kind of excited about it. I've seen what
Do you feel heard?
I do.
Sounds like they listened and then made some changes.
They listened to everybody, and
that's awesome.
I think they're going to make the necessary changes to keep the show alive. I think a lot of us were concerned about the future of it moving forward. But nobody wants to see, a show like that die, especially one that's been around for as long as that one has. So
yeah, and I mean that
excited.
was kind of like the start of, some friendships.
Yeah,
that was like first experience show for us, and I met a lot of people at that show the first year.
So we talked about Kidnew 2007. That's the first show that I ever vended at.
We used to blog.
Mm-hmm.
We all had our own blog, and then we had like a bloggers potluck.
Mm-hmm.
That was so much fun.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I learned to spin at Kidnew. Our friend Susan, that used to live here, taught me how to spin at a Kidnew in like 2005 or 2006.
That was the first, the first one.
Yeah.
Because I remember I bought.
Mm-hmm.
We all bought
the drop spindles and the fiber and the.
I still have my fiber in the same state.
Yes. I met all of my Dallas friends that are now, a lot of them are running DFW Fiber Fest. I met them at Kidnew when I first started out as a vendor.
So we have a little bit of a, attachment.
I've got a lot of sentimental feelings about Kidnew. So, but we'll be in Kerrville the second weekend of November this year. Cool. So I'm pretty excited. And if you're going to be in this area, you really should come out and support them and the new location. And, even if you don't buy anything, you don't have a budget for it, I know it's before Christmas, just try to come if you can and just, support.
Kerrville's in the Texas Hill Country, so it's about
beautiful. It's a beautiful
an hour
drive.
Out of San Antonio.
Yeah, it's about an hour.
About an hour.
But it's such a beautiful. If you've never driven out there, it's beautiful.
Gorgeous.
It's so pretty.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's all the news I have.
What about your little?
Oh, I forgot about this.
My lip pointing.
She did her lip pointing.
So I backed something on Kickstarter, which I don't do very often. But I don't know for you spinners out there. I know a lot of you do e-spinning. I need to move some things out of here. Or have e-spinners or have experience with those. So it's an electric spinning wheel.
Oh.
And they're usually about, yay big, and they sit on the table, and they cost, anywhere from probably $400 to $1,200 depending on who makes it.
Wow.
But they do. So they can get pricey.
Yeah.
So I got this little guy. Isn't he so cute?
Oh my goodness.
How cute is this? So this is an electric eel mini wheel. I have not tried this out yet. It's been in the box and I've been so busy.
Can you do it now? Does it have a battery?
It has a little cord.
Enid's ready to play.
I don't even know how to start. I promise you I will bring this to knitting group one Thursday and let y'all play with it once I figure out how to do it.
They're laser cut.
Yes.
OMG.
But it's like super light and it's just really cool.
Oh wow.
Holy cow.
I backed it on Kickstarter, I think, for like $80.
Scott saw this, he did it.
And it came with 7 bobbins, and the bobbins are supposed to hold like an ounce of fiber a piece. So it won't hold a super lot of fiber, but it will travel.
So who did you back on this?
This is Dreaming Robots. So, and he makes bigger e-spinners. Like the Electric Eel 5, I think, is the current version of this, and it's a bigger thing. I know our friend Heidi has one, and I had asked her about it forever ago and kind of kept it on my list of things to look at. But So I'm excited to try this out. And when I do,
I bet you it's
I'm
super
sure I will
quiet.
Instagram it. Some videos or
Maybe we can do it on the show too.
yeah. So
I think that'd be a fun.
I know, but it's like I have little hands, and it like fits in my hand.
Yeah.
So
How compact? You're like, it's perfect for traveling.
it is. It
Yeah.
is. It's just like back in my little box.
Oh,
Back in
that's
my box.
fantastic.
So I'm pretty excited about that. But I think he's almost done fulfilling all the Kickstarter stuff, and then he'll start selling them. So if it's something that you want to try, if you know how to spin or you're interested in learning e-spinning, it's not a huge monetary commitment at all. It's a good way to try that out.
It's awesome.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited because I needed more tools, like, you know.
Yes.
Never, like,
You
we
know.
all started Drops Bundle back then, and I just couldn't.
I still don't like drop spindling all that much. I can do it. I do it at shows because it's portable. I much prefer wheel spinning, but
Wheel spinning is so
On the
hypnotic. I think,
exterior,
watching it.
on the exterior, I seem like a pretty zen person, like pretty chill. Because people, like, I've been talking about my anxiety and be like, you don't look like your thing. I'm like, but on the inside, I'm like, wah! So to do the drafting,
That's right.
like on the inside, I'm like,
yeah.
so, you know, and you can't be like that. You've got to be like, it's cotton candy, and I don't feel like cotton candy, so. Just not me. I'd love to try again. I'll always try. I never give up. So,
Right.
you know, maybe in 2 years I'll try it and I'll be like,
Yeah.
So.
So that's a good thing. You know, they always say that you should try foods that you don't like again every couple of years because your taste buds change, your palate changes. So maybe that's the way we should do some hobbies. I didn't like it the first time I tried it, but
But
I'm
I'll
still
try it
interested.
again.
So maybe I should dip my toes in again and see, you know, what I think.
Well, that was part of my knitting journey. My mom tried to teach me how to knit when I was younger. My grandmother tried, my aunt. My brain was just like, I'm sorry. No, I like it.
My mom and I had that same conversation with sewing. That she tried to teach me to sew. She sent me to a class. I don't know how old I was, 10, 12, somewhere around there. And I remember I did make a pair of shorts. I made the most vibrant pink
As one would do at
paint
age 12.
splatter, you know, age 12 in the 80s.
Yes.
You know, early
Yes.
90s. Pair of jams. If y'all remember jams, it was a jams pattern. So I did successfully make those and then promptly put down sewing for, you know, 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
you're ready,
had I
you're
kept
ready.
up with it, I think of like all the things that I could have, you know, made. But that's the way things go.
That's the way things go. I say that about knitting because in college I had a really good, one of my best friends knit. And I was like, oh, that's cool. But it was never like, oh, that's cool.
Right.
And I think to myself, man, if I had started knitting back then, where, you know, what I'd be doing. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Never give up. Nope, never stop trying, never give up.
Wait.
We're done.
What else? I'm almost done. But we'll talk about that some other time.
We'll save it for another time.
I got burned on Facebook, Leon Alexander. Logan was like, woman, why don't you cast that thing off already? It's about time.
Be like
but I
we
was
did.
working on that.
Yeah.
So,
Which is pretty amazing.
but I'm like, I don't know, 4, 5 sections away from being done.
Yeah.
And I'll post pictures.
It's growing at a good
know, it's
steady
so
pace
pretty.
there.
That's nice. It's a nice easy brioche. This is also good for just chill brioche. You get the brioche, but you don't get all that.
crazy interlocking.
I preached a lot of try your hand at brioche this weekend. Took my brioche sample with it and like
Yes, I saw it in your photo.
try it. 2 colors easier than 1 color.
Mm-hmm.
2 colors way easier than 1 color.
I like it. Thanks, guys, for joining us.
Until next time. Bye.